Hello again everyone, and welcome to another episode of Gospel and Spade. Today I will give a brief overview of the overall geography of the central mountain range of Israel, before I delve into each sub-region within this particular region in my next video. To the immediate east of the coastal plain of Israel is what is known as today the Central Mountain Range, which runs in a roughly north-south direction through almost the entire land of Israel, with one notable exception being the Jezreel Valley in the northern area of the range, which cuts directly across the range in an east-west direction. The height of this mountain range varies from about 1,500 feet at its lowest point to 3,300 feet at its highest point. This area consists of several sub-regions from north to south, which include Upper and Lower Galilee, the Jezreel Valley, Mount Carmel, the hill countries of Manasseh, Ephraim and Judah, the Shephelah and the Negev. The western side of the range receives the most rainfall, which is blown in from the Mediterranean Sea to the west, which varies from anywhere between 20 to 40 inches in a year. On this western side of the range, an abundance of different trees grow and grain crops are grown, as well as olives and grapes, which are planted in man-made terraces, which help to collect the available rainfall and also to stop soil erosion. However, because most of the rain falls on the western side of the range, this means that what little falls on the eastern side of these mountains is minuscule. Therefore, less than 20 miles away from the fertile western side, the eastern side of the range is dry and arid and consists mostly of empty wilderness with few trees and little to no agriculture. The ancient peoples who lived on the mountain range often depended on plaster-covered cisterns that were carved out of the rock to collect and store the available rainwater, because dependable natural water sources were not as common in this region. Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 13 mentions both springs and cisterns as sources of water in ancient biblical times. In the range there are many valleys, with steeper and narrower V-shaped examples in the area of Judah in the south, which become increasingly more gentle and wider in nature the further one travels northwards. These valleys for the most part are dry, but can suddenly flow with large amounts of water during times of seasonal rainfall. These valleys are known as wadis in Arabic and nahal in Hebrew. Except in the Jezreel Valley, travel along the range was far more difficult than along the flat coastal plain to the west, as a result of its general steepness and the frequent and often dangerously steep and rocky valleys that are found across the range. Ancient travellers therefore preferred to travel along the natural mountain ridges rather than cutting across the many dangerous valleys. Or even more preferable was simply to avoid the range altogether. Because of the generally more difficult nature of the terrain and the ease of defending such a mountainous region, major ancient foreign powers like Egypt often avoided the range altogether and focused their efforts on the coastal plain to the west and the Jordan Valley in the east, which were far easier to access and control, and were also far wealthier. During biblical times, this naturally defensible and relatively remote region was extremely useful to the Jewish people, who used the mountains as a natural defense and fallback area during their less powerful and prosperous periods, for example during the times of the Judges, but also as a base to push into the coastal plain and Jordan Valley during their more powerful and prosperous times during their history in the land, like during the reign of David, Solomon and other kings. Next time we will take a closer look at the sub-regions of this part of the Holy Land. But until then, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more new videos at least every Friday.